And welcome to all the Divine Atma Jyotis. Today, let us learn how to chant 6.5 and also to contemplate. Padmaji?
Yeah. Hari Om. Today's shloka is from the chapter Dhyana Yoga-6.5. Uddhared ātmanātmānaṁ, nātmānam avasādayet, ātmaiva hyātmano bandhur, ātmaiva ripur Uddharet, elevate, ātmanā, through the mind, ātmanam, the self, not, ātmanam, the self, avasādayet, degrade, ātmā, the mind, eva, certainly, he, indeed, ātmanah, of the self, bandhuḥ, friend, ātmā, the mind, eva, certainly, ripuḥ, enemy, ātmanah, of the self. Elevate yourself through the power of your mind and not degrade yourself, for the mind can be the friend and also the enemy of the self.
Thank you, Padmaji.
Vijayji.
Yes, ma'am.
6th chapter in my book, it's written Atma Sanyama Yoga. Both are same.
Yeah. So, Dhyana or Atma Sanyama. Sanyama means to consciously manage. To consciously be in an equanimous state.
Okay.
Yeah. Santoshji, would you like to begin?
Yeah, I'll start. So basically what I understand from this shloka is, see, mind is everything for us. Maneva karanam bandha mokshanam. That's what the shloka says. Which means the mind itself is, which is bound to have a liberation or ignorance or, attachment. Which means to say, we should master the mind, which is very difficult task in our day-to-day activities. Might be after coming to the satsang, earlier, the ignorance was so much in us that, we never used to mind that, we are in the ignorance. But now, after coming and chanting the shlokas and, attending all Vedanta classes, now I'm not saying that I have mastered the mind, but, I am present to that, situation. Whenever there is something mistake happens, yes, before the mistake happens, yes, mind will start telling, yes, you are doing wrong, but we will do that. And within a fraction of a second after doing that, we would have not done that. I mean, that coming back to the situation, ending the situation is what, mastering the mind. We are in process of mastering the mind. It's not that, I cannot say that, yes, I have mastered. No, it's again a day-to-day activities and day-to-day process, which we are trying to do that. And this is what, I try to do in my day-to-day activities.
And when you say mind, Santoshji, what again, the question has to be asked in this way. What comes to your mind? What is your concept of a mind? What is your idea of a mind?
See, here, manasu or mind, it's one and the same. Mind in the sense, it's again, the thought which comes to the mind. Say, for example, I don't want to go and do, or I wanted to, there is something bad which is going to happen to me. But still, the thought comes, no, that's okay. One time you can do it, no worries. Okay, fine. Then again, I'll go there and do something. Or for example, I'll just say, I'm on diet, strict diet. Okay. What happened? My gym trainer used to say me, sir, see, you are doing a week full of diet. You'll reduce 1.5 kg. Again, weekend, you will have something. And again, you will weight will put on. So what happens here is, this is what happening in my day-to-day. So this week completely I was able to reduce 1.5 kgs. But some last week, the thing what happened is, yesterday I not intentionally, but I had met my friends and I went and had some fried items. And today when I check my weight, it is again 1 kg of weight has gone, which means the control of the thoughts are not there. In the sense, I mean, it's just an example what I'm giving. So again, I need to work out for a week and again go back to the same state.
So again, the question is, what is mind according to you? So what are you saying? You're saying
it's a bundle of thoughts which comes and goes, keep on going. It's a bundle of thoughts in my day-to-day activities. Like, it's a kind of whatever. Say, for example, today I want to do something in the sense the first thought comes to me, yeah, do this or don't do this. Okay, do this. Okay, again face the consequences or don't do this. This is what it's happening.
Okay, so the bundle of thoughts is what you're calling as mind.
Yeah, bundle of thoughts coming and going. And we stick to something and we take it forward and move forward and perform some actions, and it might be good or bad. It's again a bundle of thoughts and imaginations keep on coming and going in our day-to-day activities.
So you're very much aware that the bundle of thoughts are coming and going.
Yes, I am aware the thoughts are coming and going. Certain thoughts I am able to control, yes, good or bad or whatever it is. And certain thoughts I don't have control, which I need to master.
Okay. When you say, I have control on certain thoughts and I do not have control on certain thoughts, can you elaborate?
Yeah. Say, when I say certain thoughts, like, whenever, say, as I was mentioning, right, from Monday to Friday, I'll just take my diet example itself. Monday to Friday, every time 7 o'clock sharp, I'll reach my gym and my trainer will be there. I do very hard workout and, I sweat a lot and come. And I have a strict diet, I'll have oats or, whatever that, this one is dry fruits, and afternoon I'll have only vegetables, and, night I'll have one chapati and again vegetables. And again, this is a strict diet what I follow. At the end of the week, something goes wrong, and that where the mind again goes to that part, and again I'll have something, and again my weight will go on. Which means the complete week I'll be in the control, but weekend, some or the other thing which is happening, okay, one day, right, what will happen? Okay, we'll see tomorrow. I mean, this kind of, thoughts coming and going. And here is what, this is applied for everything, even maybe, say, for example, I wanted to get up soon and do my activities, or I need to, whatever you say, that, I need to take a right decision at the right time. The flickering of the mind will be happening. Do this or do this. So managing the thoughts, in the right way is what, mastering what I said, I think.
Okay. And how do you determine the right way, Santoshji?
See, right way in the sense which is, when I say right way, might be according to the law, according to the laws of Dharma, whatever that I need to do. For example, I have to do my activities today morning, get up, do your duty, get up, do whatever that you want to do, come back again, perform some puja, again go attend the meetings, and again pack up your lunch, go to office, and these are all my daily rituals which I am doing, and these things will be, in the proper way will be going, and in the middle of in the middle of this process, might be I may skip certain things, or I may not do certain things. Okay, let me see tomorrow. Let me not do this, or I need to take my walk or dog walk every day. I mean, okay, that's okay. Today, let my daughter take, or let my wife take. I mean, this kind of things, I should actually ignore and, do the action that I need to perform every day. And the thoughts will coming and keep on going, and it will be, disturbing me. Okay, one day chalta hai. I mean, this kind of ignorance need to be, taken care.
So you're talking about an aspect of the mind which says, okay, so let me not necessarily do it right away, but let me push it away. So more like moving it into the future. So
yeah, moving it into later, might be somebody will do it. Okay, I'll do it later, kind of.
Okay. So that aspect, that quality of your mind is what you are saying as, I want to be able to control.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Anything else that you would like to share as far as the mind is concerned? What else for example, so many powers that we talk about. So what kind of qualities are the powers that you're aware of the mind?
So the power of the mind, in the sense, we should give a positive thought process. We need to create that every day. Whenever we, the mind is so powerful that whatever the seed that you put it will grow. I mean, that is what the power of mind, what I think, and we should be always positive, and we should never think of negative. We used to say, right, Ashwini Devategaliddare Akashthalli, even yochne ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋ ಅದು ತಥಾಸ್ತು ಅಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. And the people will be telling. It's all about the mind. I mean, it's about a Purana story, whatever we say. But we should always be in a positive sense. That is also a power of mind. And why everything is power of mind. In one aspect, if you see, it's not only a bundle of thoughts or whatever it is. As I mentioned in one shloka says, Manayava karanam bandhanam mokshanam, in the sense, it's again our mind itself is, responsible for whatever the action that we take. And whether it is good or bad, yes, again, it's again a seed, what I'm seeding it.
Very nice. Anything more you would like to share?
Yeah, that's all, Vijay.
Thank you, Santoshji.
Thank you.
Ishaji, would you like to share now or after Padmaji?
Anytime, Vijayji, if Padmaji wants to go now. Please, let's see.
Okay. Yeah, why don't you share, Ishaji, and then Padmaji can share.
Okay. Vijayji, from last class, we did speak about body, mind, and then we came about mind and awareness. So, one question I think which you put across was, where is mind? It's a common saying that, mind is above, it's inside your head. It's where brain is, that's where you think your thought. So I feel mind is everywhere in a body. Mind is all about, see, in case if I'm doing something, listening to somebody, mind is in my ear. If I'm doing something, looking at something, then obviously I'm getting my thoughts through my vision. So if I'm reading something, it's about, again, my understanding of what I read and I react to that. So the shloka says like, start analyzing or start looking at things for what it is, or hear things, analyze it, and then process in your thought, and be sure of what you're able to understand and see. See, one thing what we do, which I recently, what happened in my life also, which is happening. So I said, consistency is the key for everything. Once you're consistent about certain things, it develops as an habit for us. It's an everyday thing. So in case I'm speaking about somebody and I say, okay, fine, it's not going to affect me in any way. I'm just doing time pass. Instead of simply sitting, let me speak. Imagine I'm speaking about Vijayji only. I'll start speaking about, what he did this, he did that, in case we're related or we are colleagues. I start discussing you every day at home. So it's finally, I'm consistently coming home. It becomes a habit. And, I'm talking. So it actually starts with time pass to avoid, what do you call that thing, that quietness or whatever, I forgot that word. Instead of staying quiet, you start talking to another person just because you want to get close or you have some topic. So this becomes, your everyday pattern, and any addiction is bad. So talking about somebody, it's leading to next. And obviously, gossip means something wrong, something bad. You want to attract people. You won't say, Vijayji did social service. I'll say, no, Vijayji, he pretends to do social service and he gives, waste food from somewhere. It goes off like that. So it's always necessary to put, to do something consistently and make it a habit, and that has to be something positive. Otherwise, indirectly, it affects our thoughts, our mind, whatever we called our mind, and we work on those particular thoughts. I feel like that. So recently, morning, we have that shloka, no, Karagre Vasate Lakshmi. So I have a habit of saying that, and in between, all-time low businesses, everything is, I like, I'm not doing anything, when will, even for Lakshmi and Saraswati to bless me, I have to do something. No, I was thinking. So the early morning thought itself was not positive thought. I was only putting that thought saying, you're simply sitting, nothing is going to happen. After that, it started saying, no, whatever I do, let me do. If I'm cooking, I'm cooking. If I'm learning a shloka, that also is Saraswati. It's not that, I have to sit and learn something where, I apply it in a job and to make money. So, the strength that I'm moving on with my life itself is something which, Gauri has given me. That's what we are praying for, strength and everything. So it's all about thoughts, once we might be at low, but yeah, if you keep working on it, you will lose your peace of mind. That's what I feel.
Excellent. Very nice. And how would you like to respond to the question that I raised to Santosh ji, which is, what do you think about the powers of the mind?
I feel it can make you or it can destroy you. Power of mind is, latest case also, which we know what happened to one of the movie person in Karnataka, Darshan. So even such small things, if you take an example also, it's all with your head, no? It's all in your mind. If a minute, if you're not angry with a person, 1 minute, if you can control your emotions, 1 minute, if you would have thought, what, it's okay. Such things happens to everybody. It's okay. So today life would have been different. It's about what we feed, and we can always say that, our surrounding, our company is important. Yes, our company is important, but it's we who choose our company also. We have to choose wisely. So mind makes a person. So if we want to choose good time, if we want to choose party, obviously we'll have side effects of all of that. So if we understand that, going to certain places is not right for us, we got to avoid, sometimes we are not able to filter, everything comes. So it's better to avoid certain places and be in certain places which will, help generate positivity.
Wonderful. Anything more you would like to share?
That's it, Vijayji.
Thank you, Ishaji. Padmaji, what is your viewpoint?
Yeah, I think both of them summarized a few of the things that even I wanted to say. So I think thoughts are what mind is made up of. A mind has 4 aspects, which is manas, buddhi, chitta, and ahankara. So ultimately, it is the buddhi or the intellect that is the decision maker. However, it is getting influenced by the ego of what you are attached to. So thoughts can, there is no, it's not possible for us to control the thoughts. Thoughts keep coming all the time. It could be positive, it could be negative. I think the only problem starts when you get attached to one particular thought. Whether it is good or bad doesn't matter. When you are connecting with one thought, that is what, like Ishaji mentioned, propels us to do some action about that thought which is arising. So that can have consequences, whereas thought itself is not going to do anything. So if we just observe the thought and witness it as a thought, then you can pick and choose which thought do you actually want to propel and take action from. So in that way, you can have some control over what you are choosing. But if you're not observing it, or if you're not able to become aware of the thought, then you become like that person in the second picture. You start going however the thoughts take you, then you experience heart. Sometimes it is happy, sometimes it is sad. Those kind of things keep happening within your mind because the actions are just performed randomly, not focused on, or not having clarity of what to do. So thoughts, which thought you get attached to matters. So thought itself is not a problem, I feel. So that is what I understand.
Very nice. Thank you, Padmaji.
Yeah.
So first thing is, what is mind? When you look at it carefully, which is what Ramana Maharshi also points at, mind is nothing but awareness, and it is a name that you have given to awareness. As a simple example, you, let's say, are a friend, okay, to one of your friend. But you are also a sister or a brother to your sister or brother. Same you appears as a friend to someone, same you appears as sister or brother to someone else. What is happening there? The difference is in the concept that the other person carries and you also carry connected to that. So in a similar way, what is mind? Ramana Maharshi says, mind is nothing but awareness only, and how small or big your mind is again a self-imposed idea. Very important to understand. So my mind, I can say, is very small. In what way? You know what my problems of life are. You know how my neighbors are. You know how the next door neighbor is. Like that, I can become as small as just this body and mind. Because when I say I have a problem, what am I having a problem with? It is a problem that I'm facing because of who I think I am. So my thinking can make me feel as small as this, or it is with the same thinking that I can become as large as this entire world. It is in my thinking that I can have a feeling of oneness of this entire existence. That doesn't mean that, oh, I have to think about it like that. No, it is not like that. That is how it is. I have to learn to change my constricted thinking and expand my thinking. It's as simple as, before, let's say, you had a child, you would not understand the feeling of a father or a mother as a parent. The focus was on me, me, me. What did I get? What did I lose? Who praised me? Who insulted me? There's a lot of me, 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 right? Whereas as soon as your child is born, there is suddenly an expansion. There are days when you might not have eaten, you might not have slept, but you're willing to offer something to your so-called child. So in a way, you've expanded your feeling, and that results in the thinking of including that other as part of you. Physically, when you look at it, there are two different bodies, your body and the child's body. But in your thinking process, there's a oneness. You think together, you feel for that whole. When you're cooking food, you're not simply thinking of what will I eat. You're thinking of what can I give to my child. So in a way, you've expanded. So this very fungible thing is what we call as mind. It has no particular defined boundary. See, a thing in the world, for example, that we experience, an object like this mobile, or this glass, or this book, they all seem to have a very defined boundary. Whereas your mind doesn't have such a boundary. It can shrink to be as small as you want. It can expand to be as large as you want. If it is shrunk too much, and if it is only me, then you call such a person as very difficult to deal with. What our scriptures refer as asura. Who is asura? Sri Krishna also defines asura. Who is asura? The one who takes and doesn't offer anything back, and who claims everything is as is asura. There's a me. That is asura. Now, who is a devata? The one who has an expanded consciousness. So who do you call as a god? Someone who has no difference. Someone in whose feeling everyone is embraced. We sing this bhajan, no? Guru Matru Pita Guru Bandhu Saka. What does it mean? How can some fellow called a guru be my matru, my pitru, my bandhu? It is not in a sense of biologically that is my father or mother. Because in the guru's consciousness, in the guru's way of looking at life, in the guru's way of functioning in the life, there is no more you and I are different. In the guru's way of looking at life, it is one whole thing. Just like how you don't look at your body as this part, that part. When you're eating, you don't think that, okay, I'm eating for the finger. I'm now listening for the ear only. So it's not like that. You don't have a difference like that. It's to nourish this whole thing. That's just how you feel about it. It's the same feeling in the Guru. How? Because he took a step. What step? That let me realize who I truly am. And how did he take that step? Where did he take that step? Did he walk somewhere? Did he walk somewhere to take that step? He walked somewhere in the place called as mind. In the mind, he took that step. Let me examine this. So where is that power of discrimination? In you. It is inherent in you. Let me examine who I am truly. Let me examine what is this world truly. Let me examine all these great masters have been simply repeating again and again the same thing. Let me examine how is it the reality. Because if something is being said time and again by so many, there may be some iota of truth. It's like they say in marketing, there is a gimmick, so-called 7 times repetition, and it becomes a reality gimmick. They say in marketing, how do you become brand-centric? Is when something is shown to you for about 7 times. That's why most of the advertisements have a repeat telecast. They somehow want to catch your attention at least 7 times. Then onwards, suddenly, somehow, looks like magically, you seem to have a connection to that. Something happens in the human psyche. And that's why little children, what you and I are exposing is very important. Without our awareness, they suddenly are talking about McDonald's. They suddenly are talking about whatever that Pizza Hut. How? Because these advertisements have been running continuously. So it's called a kind of a seven times repetition. Truth is not like that. Truth is something that from time immemorial, many realized ones have been saying. And it's not a matter of just because I repeat 7 times, oh, you suddenly are agreeing to it. That is not how it works. So it works because you listen to it, true, but you then examine it. And where do you examine it? In what you are referring as a mind. Again, what is mind? It is in a way nothing but a different name that you've given to you. You are the mind. And the mind is a appearing and disappearing you. The awareness is the unwavering. The Shiva, or the consciousness, or the awareness, is that unchanging. The Shakti is what your mind is. So mind is nothing but Shakti, which is inherent part of Shiva. So all the Shaktis are part of you. All the powers, the power of the focus, the power of the determination, the power of the perseverance, the power of the kindness, the power of, so like that, keep on talking about any power that anybody displays. Every single power that we see as a demonstration is because the mind has been trained to exhibit that power. So that is the wonderful, most powerful instrument that you carry with you. It is not separate from you. It is you only. It is your own inherent capacity only. Just that you and I have to decide to use that mind in that way. It's like a light which simply is there, and if you do not use it, it simply is getting dissipated. But the moment, same light, you bring a focus, a sharpness, it can be laser and it can cut through anything. So that is the power of your mind. So this mind, like all of you have already explained, can be your worst enemy. Because whatever you and I suffer in life, whatever it may be, however worst it may be, loss of money, loss of friendship, loss of health, whatever it is, ultimately, it's in a place called mind that I think about it. I then, based on the thinking, certain changes happen. If I'm feeling irritated, my ears are burning, my muscles are getting tight. These are the physical symptoms. But behind that physical symptom, there's a thinking that is happening here. Maybe I'm recollecting something that happened in the office where somebody came and yelled at me. I'm now recollecting that. And that is making me feel irritated. So like that, behind every change that I notice in my body, there's a thought that is happening in my mind. So ultimately, however disastrous the situation may be, that situation has to be reflected here in a place called mind as some kind of a pattern of thinking. So it is this pattern of thinking that you and I suffer actually. In life, for you as awareness, there is actually no suffering. But when that light of awareness falls on these thoughts in your own mind, and when you brood on it, that is when it gets magnified. It's like at the end of the day, one picture, if I have to kind of show what is happening. See, this is what is happening. In a way, this is a very pictorial or a graphical representation. It is this who you think you are sitting inside, in a way, your own place called mind. And the eyes are bringing some sights, and the ears are bringing in some sounds, so on and so forth. The five senses are all bringing, and that movie is getting constructed here. And the way you interpret this movie is your either suffering or your freedom. the way you are interpreting. To show the same in another way, this is who you are, the light of awareness. And this is what your thought is, which is coming due to certain sensations coming into you. And this is this, whatever the reflection that you see here, the shadow is actually the world. So in reality, the world is all nothing but your own impressions, and how concretized that impression is how concretized your conditioning is. And that's all that one needs to break away from. And how does one break away from all such conditioning? Very simple. Again, you have the power.
This is not just...
I just want to show you one very short video, and then we will take that next step.
A deck of cards. This is a collection of 54 beautiful...
So this is how you and I have cultivated something called as mind. Like how Santoshji said, it is nothing but a bundle of thoughts. But you and I chose to cultivate that. 100 thoughts come. 100 impressions come, 100 sensations come. But what you cultivate becomes your habit and becomes your life. And that is what Sri Krishna is teaching us here. That you and I have the capacity through this wonderful power called as mind to raise above all this, to bring out the Krishna within us. Or we can fall like any of those asuras. And both are a matter of choice that you and I make every moment. What is the choice that elevates us? What is the choice that degrades us? Is the only discrimination that you and I need to have. And through that, you and I can use our best friend. Mind is your only best friend, because that is a most intimate friend you have. Because you suffer or you feel okay through that friend. So you can use your best friend to the best of your own life. And that is the teaching from Krishna here. Atma Sanyama. Look at this wonderful way that he has referred to mind in this shloka. Uddhared ātmanātmānaṁ. So even the mind is referred as Atma only here. Like how Ramana Maharshi is saying, mind is nothing but awareness on which you have imposed certain limitations. There is no thing, separate thing called as mind. Mind is nothing but awareness only. Uddharet ātmanātmānaṁ. So Atma is referred here as mind as well as to the power of the awareness itself in Bhagavad Gita. So the true you, the unchanging you, is also referred as Atman. And here, Sri Krishna is referring to the mind, the changing aspect also as Atman only. Hari Om. Any questions or any further thoughts anybody would like to share?
Vijayji,
Yeah.
when I say, is there really mind?
So in the when we have to say, is there something, okay? So it must be constantly there, unchanging. So if you put that kind of a criteria, something is unchanging time to time, space to space. Then if you look at our own day-to-day, during that so-called deep sleep, there is no mind. So in that sense, in that way of looking at it, there is no mind actually. Mind is a coming and going phenomena, mithya. It's a coming and going phenomena. But this mithya, this coming and going Shakti is already inherent part of the whole. It is not separate. It is already inherently part of the whole. Shiva and Shakti.
See, when we say inherent part of the whole, it's, as you mentioned, Ramana Maharshi said that, the mind itself is an awareness. I mean, he always used to say, always look, concentrate on yourself and, focus on the self. He was pointing to the mind only.
So when he says concentrate on yourself, so see, okay, what is that you're looking at when you say I am looking at myself? So at an initial level, when I say myself, I may simply look at my hands, my nose, my eyes. And as I look a little deeper, I may sense that, okay, I'm seeing all this in some other place, because when I'm dreaming in the night, this body is not what I'm seeing, but there's still I'm seeing. So it must be happening somewhere else. So in that sense, I become aware. In that way, I become aware of another thing called as a mind. But now, both this body and mind, where is that I'm seeing really? Who is that who's really seeing both these? And when I put that question, that is when I come to the final conclusion that it is I, as the awareness, that is watching both this so-called body and mind and body. So awareness is never changing.
Correct.
Awareness is constant. But the mind and also the so-called body, again, these are nomenclatures given for a understanding purpose. Like how you are brother to your brother or your sister, you are friend to your one of your friend. But it's the same you, given different labels. It's awareness only that is given different labels, mind and body and world. There is no such separation. Where would you stop? Where would you say, okay, this is where the boundary of mind ends and this is where the boundary of the body begins? So when you look deeper into that aspect, it is impossible to draw a boundary. So it is that awareness which is appearing as all of this, just like your dream world. So in that sense, there is no mind. There is no world. There is no body. In the sense that it is a coming and going phenomena. Yeah.
Okay. So the understanding is, see, mind itself, there is no, because the unchanging thing which is there, which is actually, sakshi in the waking state, in the dream state and deep sleep state, is not the mind. The mind has been gowned by this sakshi. It's only referring, but mind is claiming that I am doing everything.
In the mind, yeah. It's that awareness, the divine awareness only that is appearing as mind. Why it is appearing as mind? As a separate thing? Because of presence of something called as an ignorance.
Ignorance, yes.
Strong understanding is again a thought. Because of that, there is a sense of separation. Your friend looks at you only as a friend. Whereas your sister looks at you as a brother. It's in the mind of, it's in the thinking process that, you have become a friend or you have become a brother. You are who you are.
Yeah. Thank you, Vijayji. Thank you so much. Got it.
Sure.
Sir, so in our day-to-day life, in the place where we function with the world or interact with the world, it would help greatly if we think only from the point of what is changing and what is unchanging, isn't it? I mean, that would always help us to have that clarity. Since we are also studying this, it would help to deepen the practice of observing the unchanging and the changing, isn't it?
Can you phrase the question, Padmaji? I am not sure I understand the question clearly.
So I'm saying that like just now you explained about the mind, right? If we think about it from a perspective of what is changing and unchanging, then there is no mind, right? That's what we arrive at based on how we are deciding about it. So similarly, in the day-to-day functioning of how we operate in this world, to have an understanding or to keep witnessing what is changing and unchanging helps us in dealing better with the world, right?
Definitely, because at the end of the day, when you say I'm watching, what are you watching? Like that picture showed, you're simply watching the functioning of the so-called mind. What is that you are watching? You're seeing various sensations come through your eyes, through your ears, the five senses. And because of that, various thought patterns that emerge in the place called mind. that is what you are essentially watching.
Correct.
So this is the initial step. The only switches that is needed to come out of this loop is, who is watching? The watcher is always free. The watcher is not what is being watched. What is being watched is only something that is appearing and disappearing. And the watcher is simply there, watching.
Yeah.
The Sakshi. So, Sakshi Bhava is watching the mind in operation. Sakshi is realizing that the Sakshi or the witness, I am the witness. So that shift, that gentle shift, there's nothing to be done there. It's simply a realization that, who is the one who's watching all this? Who's the one who's seeing all this drama in the so-called place called mind? Who is aware of all this? Who is that? Who am I who is aware of all this? That gentle shift, that simply a shift is who you truly are. You are the true witness.
And then finally the questioner also has to disappear.
Because the questioner, the one who is questioning, is a thought, right?
Correct. Yeah. Again, that's some identity that is questioning.
Some identity that is questioning. And that identity itself is a fiction.
Correct. Yeah.
Is a mithya. Which identity? Who is the one who's questioning? The sister Padma, the friend Padma, the student Padma. Which Padma is questioning?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Ishaji, anything else from your side?
No. This is actually my favorite shloka, it has been.
Yeah.
Mind is the best friend.
Yeah. This shloka is what we can call as mind-blowing shloka.
Yeah. True, very true.
Because if your mind is really blown away, job is done.
True. It's like our body only, no? Mind is also body. What you feed in, that only it will give effect to. So you feed in junk, you will get unnecessary fat only, cholesterol only.
See, most of us think that food is nothing but what we put in the mouth.
Correct. Not food of thoughts.
Right? But ultimately it is what you put here, what you put here, what you put here, what you put here, what you put here. These five is what is being consumed by this thing called as mind. And it either becomes fatty or lean or weak or crying or, this mind. That's why it's wonderful that, in Vedanta it is called as anthakarana, inner instrument.
Yeah.
So that's the most apt definition. And this one is bahya karana. We only think of food, feeding this bahya, but this anthakarana, what are we feeding our inner body?
True, sir.
Wonderful. So if there are no other questions, then shall we end this contemplation? Hari Om.
Yes, sir.
Vijayji,
Yes.
This question might be out of the context. I don't know. See, we say, the awareness itself is a sakshi, and we also say the reflected consciousness is chidavasa. Is there any difference between the chidavasa and the consciousness or awareness?
What is chidabhasa? It is in that chit, there is an abhasa. Okay. So, which means what? It is the awareness that, is appearing all the changes are appearing. It's the awareness only, like just like the dream, right? The dreamer only can appear as all the dream objects, no? So there is a perception as if that is separate. So the so-called appearance is seen as separate from the seer. There is no separation actually. It appears to be separate. Just like in this picture that we just now saw, in this picture that we saw, this seems like a separate thing. This seems like a separate thing. But if you really think about it, if you really see this clearly, all of this is nothing but light only. It is not really separate. It is light only.
Okay. Yes. Got it. It's only another name what we give. That's all.
It's just a name that you and I are giving.
Yeah.
We are
Got it.
labeling.
Yes.
Nama Rupa.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Got it.
Hari Om.
Thank you.